Hi, all. So, today's class is all about the speech, the end of living, and beginning of survival. It's a speech delivered by Chief Seattle. So, before going into the speech itself, we have to discuss something regarding Chief Seattle. So, Chief Seattle, he was born on the Black River near Blake Island in what is now the city of Kent in Washington, that is in US. So his father was a leader of the Suquamish tribe. Suquamish tribe was a Native American tribe, and his father was a leader of that tribe, and his mother belonged to Duwamish tribe. And Seattle, he was groomed for leadership from an early age, and he was a brave man and a courageous warrior known for defeating big armies of enemies tribal raiders. So, upon becoming the chief, it did not take him long to establish himself as a much feared and respected leader. And he began to gradually lose his powers when the white settlers began invading the tribal lands. And knowing that it was not possible to defeat the more powerful Europeans, he chooses to form friendly relations with the settlers, keeping in view the long term safety of his tribes. So the Suquamish tribes, they honored Chief Seattle in the third weeks of August every year as Chief Seattle's Day. So the Suquamish tribe, they celebrated the third week of August every year as Chief Seattle's days. And Chief Seattle, he was a tall, he was a broad man standing nearly 6 feet tall, and it is said that when he addressed an audience, his voice could be heard at a distance of 1.2 kilometers. Look at that. And he was noted for his speech, and he was a famous orator in his native language. And he had the ability to understand the white man's real intention. Even though he allowed them to settle there, he know their real intention for land grab. But what happens, he pursued a path of accommodation with them. Okay, so the importance of Chief Seattle, that is why this tribe was honored the third week of August every year as Chief Seattle's Day. And the another important thing is that there is a city of Seattle. That city was named after Chief Seattle. The city of Seattle, that is in the state of Washington, was named after Chief Seattle. So that is what all about Chief Seattle. And about the speech, this speech, the end of living and beginning of survival, that was delivered on March 11, 1854. The means the date is disputed, we don't know the correct date of that speech, when that speech is delivered, but we assumes that it was on March 11th, 1854. And actually the speech was spoken in the Lashute language. Lashute language. You have to remember that the speech by Chief Seattle, that was spoke in the language called Lashute. And there exist various versions of this speech because it has translated into different languages. But the authenticity of the speech is doubted, as different versions of the same speech are in circulation, the authenticity is uh, doubted. Then the text that is prescribed for you, or the extract that is used to that is used in this textbook, is based on Ted Parry's script. It's based on Ted Parry's script that was made for the promotion of the environmental movie called Home. So actually, the extract that is used in this textbook is based on Ted Parry's script. That script was made for the promotion of the movie called Home. Is that clear? And this speech or this extract was actually taken from this Ted Perry script, and that script is for the movie called Home, and that movie that was produced in the US by the Southern Baptist Conventions in 1972. Okay, so this is all about Chief Seattle, and now we can discuss more about the speech itself.